This class is based on Karnataka TET Paper 2 syllabus Mathematics. Chapter name is Trigonometry. From this chapter, only 2 questions are coming. I have seen many question papers, the model question papers, and in previous year question papers also. Only 2 to 3 questions maximum they will ask. Okay, but those 2 to 3 questions they will not be easy for us if we don't know anything about trigonometry. If we have little bit of idea about few formulae and few identities, the trigonometric ratios, then we will be able to answer those 2 to 3 questions. Okay, so I will try to make things easier for you. I will try to explain in a very simple manner. Okay, first of all, in trigonometry there are 3 basic formulas. They are known as trigonometric ratios. Okay, each one it will link to 2 sides of a triangle and 1 angle of the triangle. Okay, here you can see one diagram I have put for the triangle. Each trigonometric formula, you can make it or you can write it by using 2 sides and 1 angle in each triangle. Okay, in this triangle you can see one angle is a right angle triangle. Basically this is a right angled triangle. Another angle is x. Okay, that is the angle which we want now. Okay, we are naming that angle as x. We are using that angle to find the trigonometric ratios. Now the side which is opposite to this angle x is known as opposite side, and the other side of the triangle which is remaining, one is hypotenuse, right? Whatever is the right angle, for the opposite to that one long side will be there in the triangle, that is known as hypotenuse. And the side which is opposite to this angle x is the opposite side. Which is the remaining side? The third side. The side which is near angle x. That side is known as adjacent side. Okay, so in triangles we have 3 sides. I am talking about a right angled triangle. In this right angled triangle, we have 3 sides: hypotenuse, opposite side and adjacent side. Now coming back to the trigonometric formulas. If I want to find sine x, means sine of the angle x. Okay, sine x means I am finding the sine of the angle x. The formula for that is opposite side by hypotenuse of the triangle. Okay, in the same manner, if I want to find cos of that angle x, then I will write adjacent side by hypotenuse. And if I want to find the tan of that angle x, then I will write opposite side by adjacent side. Okay, if I have the values for these sides, means if there are some lengths for these sides, if some number is given in the question, I can substitute there and I can find the angle. Okay, now how to remember this? This is little confusing, right? I have one trick. The trick is known as SOHCAHTOA. SOHCAHTOA. S for sine, O for opposite side, H for hypotenuse. In so, okay. And in ka, C for cos, A for adjacent side, H for hypotenuse. And in toa, T for tan, O for opposite side, A for adjacent side. See, it is very simple. If I want to find sine, I will do opposite side by hypotenuse. If I want to find cos, I will do adjacent side by hypotenuse. If I want tan, I will do opposite side by adjacent side. Okay, so much you have to remember. Now let us go into little bit detail of these trigonometric ratios. There the angle we used was x, right? In place of x we usually write theta. Means theta is a common alphabet, a Greek letter which we use to denote angles in mathematics. Okay, so sine of that angle theta is equal to opposite side by hypotenuse. We used this trick also. So SOH, sine is equals to opposite side by hypotenuse. Now there is another trigonometric ratio which we call as a cosec theta. This cosec theta, it is a reciprocal of sine theta. Now if I want to write it in terms of the sides of the triangle, I will write it as hypotenuse by opposite side because it is a reciprocal of sine, right? Next is a cos theta. CAH cos theta is equal to adjacent side by hypotenuse. Like cosec theta, we have another trigonometric ratio known as sec theta. This sec theta is a reciprocal of cos theta. If I want to write it in the terms of sides, I will write it as hypotenuse by adjacent side. Now tan theta. Tan theta is equals to opposite side by adjacent side. We saw it, right? Now if I want to write it in terms of sine theta and cos theta, I can write tan theta as sine theta by cos theta. If you want, you can write down and see. You write opposite by hypotenuse whole divided by adjacent by hypotenuse. Hypotenuse will get cancelled and you will get opposite side by adjacent side. So tan theta is equal to sine theta by cos theta. There is another trigonometric ratio which is reciprocal of tan theta. We call it as a cot theta. Now tan theta is equal to sine theta by cos theta, right? What will be cot theta? We told that it is reciprocal of tan, right? So cot theta will be equal to cos theta by sine theta. If I want to write it in terms of sides, I will write it as adjacent side by opposite side. Till now I am telling that these trigonometric ratios are a short form, right? What are their full forms? I will show you. This is a sine, S-I-N-E. It is a full form. We cannot write every time the full forms. We are in urgent always, right? To do mathematics, we are giving much priority to calculate. So we gave short forms to these angles. Okay. Sine, S-I-N-E. Then cosine. We call cos theta. Short form for cosine theta is cos theta. Short form for tangent theta is tan theta. Like that only cosecant theta, which is reciprocal of sine theta. We call it as cosec. Another one is secant theta, which is reciprocal of cos theta. We call it sec theta. Another one is the cotangent theta or the cot theta, which is the reciprocal of the tan theta. Okay, I hope that you all understood. See, you can write all of these things just by using one right angled triangle. Only thing is that you should know where is your angle theta. And you already know where is the hypotenuse, right? Because you are given a right angled triangle means where is the right angle, the opposite side will be the hypotenuse. And if you know the angle which you have to find, the opposite side for the angle which you have to find is the opposite side, and the other side which is near the angle, it is known as the adjacent side. Just with the triangle only you can play and you can write all these trigonometric ratios which I have mentioned here. Okay, so this is very basic, you should know it. Now I am taking one right angled triangle. Here one right angle is there and one angle is there which is our theta. Say that theta, if for example, if the theta is 45 degree, what will be the other angle? It should be 90 minus theta, right? Because the sum of the angles of a right angled triangle or sum of the angles of any triangle is equal to 180 degree, correct? Now one angle B is already 90 degree, angle A we have given 45 degree. So what should be angle C? It should be 90 minus theta. It is 45 degree. Now if I give the sides of the right angled triangle some value, say I am giving 1, then I can apply here Pythagoras theorem, right? What does Pythagoras theorem say? It says that here in this right angled triangle, hypotenuse is equal to square root of the sum of the squares of other two sides. Means here AC is equal to square root of AB square plus BC square. Now I can substitute the values and I can find the value for hypotenuse, right? So AC will be equal to square root of 1 square plus 1 square. So square root of 2, because 1 square is nothing but 1. So my hypotenuse value became square root of 2. Now using this I can find the trigonometric ratios. This is opposite side and this is adjacent side. We know now. Using this formula that sine theta is equals to opposite by hypotenuse, the SOHCAHTOA thing. If we use, we can find their values. See, if I want to find sine 45, what I will do? I will write opposite side by hypotenuse. The value of opposite side is 1. Hypotenuse value is square root of 2. So I will write 1 by root 2. Like that only I can find the cosecant 45 degree, because cosecant is inversely proportional to sine, right? So 1 by root 2 will become square root of 2 for cosecant. For cos, I will write Adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent is also 1. Hypotenuse is square root of 2. And then secant, which is the reciprocal of cos, I will have square root of 2. Now I can find tan theta. How I will find? The tan theta will be equal to opposite side by adjacent side. Opposite side is 1. Adjacent side is 1. 1 by 1 will be 1. And cot theta, it is reciprocal of tan theta. And 1 by 1 will give me 1 only. That's why cot 45 will also be equal to 1. Okay, this is how we play with the triangle, the right angled triangle, and we can find the trigonometric ratios. Okay. Now there are two basic rules which we should know when we learn trigonometry. The first rule is the sine rule. If you see this triangle, in this triangle, small ABCD are the sides and capital ABC are the angles of the triangle. Okay. Here, the ratio of A by sin A and B by sin B and C by sin C will be same, or any two of them also will be same. Means B by sin B will be equal to C by sin C, or A by sin A can be equal to B by sin B. Okay. So this type of question they may ask. That's why I have included this. I wanted to discuss this with you. The next rule is the cosine rule. According to this cosine rule, a square is equal to b square plus c square minus 2bc cos a. Now what is this small a square, b square and c square? It is the square of the sides of the triangle. With this identity, you can find the angle cos a. Okay, without having any angle. If you are given the values of three sides of a triangle, then you can use this formula and you can find cos a. Okay, cos a will be equal to b square plus c square minus a square by 2bc. So these two formulae you have to remember. Now let's learn the values of the trigonometric ratios. Actually the degrees, the angles are from 0 to 360 degree because the circle is having 360 degree, right? But it is not needed for us. For Karnataka TET only till 90 degree if we learn, it is more than enough. Okay. Now we wrote values for sine 45, cos 45, tan 45 and all those trigonometric ratios. We wrote the values of 45 degree. No, like that only there are values for 0 degree, 30 degree, 60 degree and 90 degree also. I am showing you trick to remember all the values because this is very important. Compulsory one question will come from this table. Means you can answer that question if you know this table. It will be like that. Okay. So I am giving you trick to remember. See this table. Here what you do, you have to write like this. The way I have written here, like that only you should write. 0, 30, 45, 60 and 90. Other values we don't remember. We don't want to by heart those values. Only these 5 values we will by heart for sine, cos and tan. Okay. Now by hearting is not easy, right? That's why we will learn a trick so that we can easily write down the answers for these values. Okay. The trick is that first you write square root of 0 by 4, square root of 1 by 4, square root of 2 by 4, square root of 3 by 4 and square root of 4 by 4. See, first you have to make the table like this only. The way I have made, like that only you have to write. Okay. And line by line you write a square root of 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and the denominator will be 4 for all the numbers. It is easy, right? Just you have to write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and then you write denominator as 4. By 4 you have to write. Okay. Then you put square root for all that. I will tell once again. What you have to do, first you write numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Then you write divided by 4 for all. Then you take square root of them. Okay. Now you write the answer for this. Like in the first column, sine 0 is there. What is square root of 0 by 4? Answer will be 0. Like that only for sine 30, square root of 1 by 4. What will be the answer for square root of 1 by 4? It should be 1 by 2, correct? Because square root of 4 is 2, right? So it will be 1 by 2. Like that only for sine 45, you have written 2 by 4, right? What will be the value? 2 ones are 2 twos are, it will get cancelled and you will have 1 by square root of 2. Like that only for square root of 3 by 4. What will be square root of 3 by 4? You will have square root of 3 by 2 because 3 does not have any root, right? 4 is having 2. Like that only for square root of 4 by 4, your answer will be 1. So sine 90 will be 1. Okay, this is the trick. If you learn this much, you can complete the entire table now. Okay, first you write 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you divide them by 4. Then you take square root. Then you take the answer for that. With this you will get sine 0 as 0, sine 30 as 1 by 2, sine 45 as 1 by root 2, sine 60 as root 3 by 2 and sine 90 as 1. Okay, so much you learned. Now writing the other values is very easy. I will show you. This you write in a ulta way. Means for sine you have 0, right? That 0 you put it in the last. The ulta way you write. Okay. You have written 0, half, 1 by root 2, root 3 by 2 and 1. Now you write this number in the reverse order. That is ulta you have to write. Like this. 1, square root of 3 by 2, 1 by root 2, half, 0. See, I have written it in the reverse manner, right? The above numbers only I have written it in the reverse manner. So I will get the values of cos 0, cos 30, cos 45, cos 60 and cos 90. Okay. Now tan is very easy. Why? Because tan theta is equal to sin theta by cos theta, right? Just divide 0 by 1 will be 0. Then half by root 3 by 2 will be 1 by root 3. Then 1 by root 2 by 1 by root 2 will be 1. Then root 3 by 2 by 1 by 2 will be root 3. 1 by 0 will be not defined or infinity. That's it. Okay, I hope that you learned the trigonometric table, which is very important for you from the point of view of Karnataka TET exam. Okay. So after this trick, you should be able to write this table in your mind. If you are not able to write it in your mind, you can write it on the paper also. Exam day, you write it with the, use the trick and write the table, trigonometric table. Then your answer will never be wrong. I will give you guarantee that your answers will be correct. Okay. Now this was about the values. Now there are few important trigonometric identities like sin square theta plus cos square theta is equal to 1. We can prove it also. How? You put some angle, maybe you take theta is equal to 45 degree. Okay, then you substitute the values. You know sin 45 is 1 by root 2 and cos 45 is also 1 by root 2. Substitute and do whole square. You will get 1. Okay, you can prove it also. Another identity, important identity. 1 plus tan square theta is equal to secant square theta. Now also, for example, you take theta as 45 degree. Then you substitute the values. 1 by tan square theta is equal to secant square theta. In place of theta we have 45 degree, right? So we will write 1 as it is. Then tan 45 is 1 whole square. Secant 45 is square root of 2. Square root of 2 whole square. So your left hand side is also having 2. Your right hand side will also have 2 because square root of 2 whole square will be 2. Okay. Another important identity. 1 plus cot square theta is equal to cosecant square theta. In the same way I can prove it for this also. Your left hand side will be equal to right hand side. So these three identities are important. Okay. Now this question was asked in Karnataka TET 2021. The question is 2 tan 60 degree by 1 plus tan square 60 degree. You just substitute the values by using the table. Correct? If you substitute the values, you will get the answer. See here. Tan 60 is equal to root 3. So root 3 whole square will become 3 because in the denominator tan square 60 is there, right? So what you will get here? 2 times root 3 by 4. You can cancel here. 2 ones are 2 twos are. You will get root 3 by 2. But again you see in the table, where is root 3 by 2 coming? Root 3 by 2 is coming in two places. One is sin 60, other one is cos 30. Cos 30 is not there in the options. Only sin 60 is there. So sin 60 will be the right answer. Okay, this is the trick. When you are getting the value, means here you got root 3 by 2. Then you should know what is the answer for that in terms of angle. It is sin 60. If I was getting 1, the answer could be tan 45 or sin 90 or cos 0 like that. Okay, I hope you are understanding what I am telling. See, this is a maths class. You have to take book and a pen, then only you can understand, or else you will not understand. Please, okay. Next question. I have taken this question from a model question paper. Question is given sin 2 theta is equal to root 3 by 2. Then the value of theta is. See, just now I told you, right? Square root of 3 by 2 means you should know that it should be cos 30 or sin 60. But I will not take cos 30 in the right hand side now. Why I should take cos? I have sine in the left hand side, right? So I will make friends and I will take sine in the right hand side so that I can do more calculations and find the right answer to find the value of angle theta. Okay. Now what I will do? First I will take a sine 2 theta is equal to root 3 by 2. In right hand side, sine 60 I can write it because sine 60 is equal to root 3 by 2, right? Sine I can cancel. Then 2 theta will be equal to 60 degree. With this theta will be equal to 60 by 2, which will be equal to 30 degree. So this is the trick you have to use while solving all trigonometry based numericals. Okay, you have to interconvert with numbers to angles, angles to their values. Okay, this question is from model paper. I have taken it from model paper. The question is, given 2 sine square theta minus 3 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Theta being positive, then the values of theta are. They are given one relation. Using this relation, you have to find the value of theta. Okay, there are two values of theta if you see the options. There are two values of theta. Here, theta being positive, that phrase is there, no, that you ignore. You don't need it right now. Okay. Now, just write down the table because we need the table. We have to find the values, right? We need the table here. Now first to take 2 sine square theta minus 3 sine theta plus 1 is equal to 0. Then split this 3 sine theta. It is minus 3 sine theta. It can be written as minus 2 sine theta minus sine theta. Okay, correct, no? Minus 2 minus 1 will be equal to minus 3. So you can split minus 3 sine theta into minus 2 sine theta minus sine theta. Then what you do? You use it like a quadratic equation. What you do for a quadratic equation? You do some factorization, right? That you have to do here. For that, for first two terms, you take 2 sine theta common. If you take 2 sine theta common, you will get sine theta minus 1 in the bracket. Next, for next two terms, you take minus 1 common. You will get sine theta minus 1 in the bracket. With this, you will get two equations. One will be sine theta minus 1. Other one will be 2 sine theta minus 1. You can treat this as equal to 0 now, right? If you know how to solve a quadratic equation, this will be very easy for you. If you don't know, don't worry. While doing that chapter, I will teach you how to solve this quadratic equation by factorization method. Okay. Now, first take first equation. Sine theta is equal to 1. Now see the trigonometric table. In place of 1, I can write sine 90, right? See, one value is cos 0 also and tan 45 also. But why I will write them? I want to write the same thing here which is there in the left hand side. Left hand side should be equal to right hand side. I want to use that trick. In place of 1, I will write sine 90. Sine will get cancelled and theta will become 90 degree. Okay. If you are smart enough, you will stop calculating here only. See in the options, only one option is there with 90 degree. No other options are there. Then obviously other theta will be 30 degree only. So option 2 will be the right answer. Now only I can say. But still if you want to calculate, you can calculate it. 2 sine theta minus 1 is equal to 0. So you can put 1 in the right hand side and sine theta will become half. See in the table, half is there for which value of sine? It is 30. So sine 30. Sine will get cancelled and theta will be equal to 30 degree. So option 2 will be the right answer. Okay, I hope you got it now. See, this is a little tough question only. But it is given in the model paper, so we can't ignore. We need to learn sums like this also. Now the moral of the story of this class is that you have to learn some identities and some trigonometric ratios. I am giving you few more extra identities. These are known as addition and subtraction identities. First one is sin a plus b is equal to sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Second one is cos a plus b is equal to cos a cos b minus sin a sin b. Like that only for tan is there. And then again for subtraction also it is there. Sin a minus b will be sin a cos b minus cos a sin b. I am just giving you list. It is better you learn, but if you feel it tougher, at least you learn first identity. It is important. First identity with cos and first identity with sin. At least so much you learn. Tan identity you ignore, you don't learn. Okay. Another question, this is coming from previous year TET exam. The question is, in triangle ABC, angle B is equal to 90 degree. Cot A is equal to root 3. The value of sin A cos C plus cos A sin C is. By seeing the question only, one identity came in my mind. Just now I told you, right? It is sin a plus b is equal to sin a cos b plus cos a sin b. Write this identity in the side and then you try to solve this sum. First you see a right angle triangle. You have to draw it at least in your mind or in the margin. It is your wish. It is up to your capacity. Because it is a right angle triangle, he told that angle B is 90 degree. Now if angle B is 90 degree, we know that sum of the angles of a right angle triangle or any other triangle is 180 degree, right? I told you about this in the starting of this class only, right? So that 90 degree will go in the right hand side and A plus C will be equal to 90 degree. Let us keep this in our mind and let us easily solve this question with this concept. Now keeping this in mind, we can easily solve this question. Now we got that A plus C is equal to 90 degree, right? You go back to the question now. What they have told? They told that we have to find the value of sin A cos C plus cos A sin C. But this is looking like this formula. This is equal to sin A plus B. Only in place of B they are given C here. Correct? So take that identity which you have to calculate the value, that you write down and write the formula, the answer for that. The answer is sin of A plus C. But we got that A plus C is 90 degree, right? So substitute 90 in place of A plus C. And with our trigonometric table, we know that sin 90 is 1. So option 2 will be the right answer. Okay. See, if you practice, it will become very easy, friends. Don't worry. Now you don't read anything. Just you follow my class for trigonometry. Okay. See, they can ask you questions like this also. Just simple, they will give you some identities with angles. Like for example, this one. Here what you will do, just you have to use the trigonometric table and substitute the values and simplify. Okay. Like here they are given 2 tan square 45 degree plus cos square 30 minus sin square 60. Substitute the values. Just substitute the values. Okay. Then you can get the answer easily. That's why I told you should know the trigonometric table perfectly. You should know till 90 degree. Okay. Few more identities are there. I have kept it here. If anyone is interested, you can learn. But I don't think that it is important. Just you learn this first identity. Sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin theta cos theta. That much will be enough, I feel. Okay. But still, if you are interested, you can learn other things also. But I don't think that they will ask such tough questions in the exam this time. Okay. Now, overall, friends, we need to learn few basic identities. These are the identities which we learnt in this class, and then the additional formulae. Then one more formula I have written here. I have not told anything about this in this class, but it is better you learn this formula also. Okay. Sin A plus B plus sin A minus B will be equal to 2 sin A cos B. And then the subtraction formula. Okay. Along with this, you should know the table. It is compulsory for you to learn this table. Okay. I hope that you have learned this table in this class only. But still, if you have not learned, pause the video now. Learn this table. Then only you have to leave this class. Okay, friends. Okay, this was all about trigonometry. Thank you. Bye.